Hello there, I'm Dave and welcome to my workshop. Now I've spent an awful lot of time working on this neck, rescuing it from the disaster that I created. But there's more to a guitar than just the neck. You need the body. Whew. Not sure how we're going to do this. In this episode, I'm going to be working on the body of the guitar. I need to glue it together. I also need to do quite a bit of sanding on it to get it to the shape of the radiused surface that it's on. I also need to glue together the top and the back. And if you're a fan of an iconic rock guitar, I've got a fantastic guitar story for you. So please stay tuned. I think my first job is to get this body glued together. And to do that, I need to make a little bit of an adjustment on the end here because the two don't quite tie up correctly. Now then, they are square with the edge, and obviously this has got a radius on it. So I'm just wondering if what I need to do is actually just lift those up a little bit. Whether that's what I need to do. I mean, I've got to run all of this body over some sandpaper to get it to follow the contour. Decisions. Let's have a closer look. I've got a piece of wood here. It's about 2mm thick, and I think if I raise up the end of the guitar there, that will just be enough to fix that problem with the gap at the bottom. It's still not a great join, so I think I'm going to chamfer these ends to fit better. Now I've not tried this before, but what I'm going to do is clamp this square, this 45-degree angle square, onto my vise, like so. Let's get that on there. Okay, now if I offer this up to there, I should be able to get that at 45 degrees. Okay, so now I'll take that across there with a levelling beam. Hopefully that will be at a 45-degree angle. We'll soon find out. First problem is it's actually moving in the frame, so I'm going to need to come up with something to hold that. Okay, that didn't work because this wasn't held securely, so I've got a piece of wood which is cut to 45 degrees, so I'm going to clamp that into place on the end here with a bigger clamp. There we go. Okay, so let's try again. So now I need to rest that against there, 45 degrees, just above the surface there. That looks like it's held firmer. So here we go. So far so good. Now I need to cut the corresponding angle on the other side. Now theoretically, if I'd got the angles absolutely right, these two would butt up with no bother at all, but it wasn't quite as simple as that. So what I've had to do is, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a little sort of notch in that side, and there's a little flat on the edge of that side, and so when I put them together, he says, the two butt up really nicely. So my next thing is to glue that, and I think I'm going to glue this end first. Now, before I launch into the glue up down the other end, there's a couple of bits here that I need to sort out. They're not really seating very nicely, so I'll start with this top edge first, and I think I just need to take a little piece off there, so let's get something to do that with. I think I'll just make myself a sanding block to do that, because it's not the easiest thing to get to, and so this is probably the best way to do it. Okay, that'll do. That's a much better fit, so that's okay on that side. I just need to do the other side now. Just take off a corner. That looks pretty good now, so I think I can proceed with the glue up at the other end. I think that's probably done it. I'm going to leave that to cure now. I don't think I can get a better join than that. Okay, now as strange as it sounds, I never thought of using the shooting block here to trim the edges of sort of book matched tops, and I was watching Todd at Sweet Tea Guitars the other day, who is a real master craftsman, and he's certainly worth going to have a look at. But he was saying that the way to do this is to use your plane on a shooting board here, and when you plane it, turn over one board, so you plane the edge and then put the other board on, and if there's any angle in the side that you've planed, it will be counteracted by the corresponding angle on the other side of the board. So I'm going to give it a go. Let's see if I can do as good a join as Todd does. Here we go. Tell you what, that is a mighty fine join. Wow. Okay, I think we'll get that glued up. And to do that, I'm going to use my universal guitar body stroke guitar body top clamp. If you want to know how I made this, I'll put a link to the video in the description. And if you like plans for any of the jigs that I've made, please let me know in the comments, because I can always put them up on my website. So yeah, be delighted to do that. Anyway, here's the clamp. I'm going to have to go to its full extent, I think, for this. So just slide these blocks back, loosen them off. I hope that will be wide enough. Nearly there. Ooh, nearly there, not quite. Okay, I think I'm going to cut a piece off the top. Okay, here's the plan, and I can afford to take off about 8mm on each side, and I think that should do the job. So let me just do that on the bandsaw. Okay, well, they fit quite nicely. Got a couple of too thin offcuts which I shall put away for another day. Just going to put a sheet of paper down the middle there to stop it sticking to the jig. Trusty screw tin, hold the whole lot down. Oh, that should do it. Okay, well, the end of the guitar there has been curing for most of the day, so now I'm going to tackle this joint here, and I've got a rolled up piece of vinyl flooring ready for clamping, and I'll just get some glue ready, and well, here we go. Well, I've got that gluing, and I think I'm going to be pushing my luck to try and glue the other side at the same time. So I'm going to let this cure, and then I can tackle the other side. So I think it's time for my guitar feature. Okay, all you Scorpion fans, put your hands up. Come on, I know you're out there. And Emanuel, I know you're a big fan of the guitarist Matthias Jabs, or rather should I say his Gibson Explorer guitar. Because yes, this week I'm grateful to Emanuel from Germany, who sent me details of his guitar. Emanuel tells me, I started building guitars at the beginning of 2020, just weeks before the pandemic hit Europe. I'd stumbled across guitar building videos on YouTube and was fascinated by the idea to build my own guitar. So Emanuel ordered a Les Paul kit and set about building this guitar. Now, it was so successful that he actually used the guitar at a gig with his band. And that fired him up. He was fired up to make more guitars. In fact, what he did was go through his whole guitar collection and start updating them, putting new control knobs on, putting veneers on. He got really enthusiastic. Sounds great, Emanuel. Now, last year, he decided to build a guitar from scratch. Now, people had advised him to build a Telecaster as his first guitar, because that was the best starting point. But, well, Emanuel's not really a telly guy. Nor am I, I'm afraid. So, inspired by his hero, Matthias Jabs, he decided to build a Gibson Explorer. Not the easiest guitar to build, Emanuel, I imagine. So I'm going to put the spec on the screen for a few seconds, but then I'm going to dive straight into the guitar. So if you want to get the details, either pause the screen or don't forget, you can always go to my website because I put all the specs and links to the videos on there. The body is ash with a top of flamed ash. Emanuel says the ash turned out to be very heavy. I drilled a whole bunch of holes, turning the body into something like Swiss cheese before gluing the top. I think there's an element of Ben Crow there. So we can see that nice slab of ash there. He said he had to make it quite thick, and that was because of the tremolo system he wanted to install. We'll have a look in that in a minute. Yes, I can see the Swiss cheese, and that looks like a nice top you've got there. Because he doesn't like hard edges, Emanuel carved and slimmed down the body along the edges and added a belly cut just for comfort. I can see he's done that, and he's got the old Shinto rasp saw and that rather lovely looking scraper. I'm going to have to get some curved scrapers, you know. I haven't got any curved ones, and they do look rather good, don't they? Now, the neck is maple with a lightly flamed apple fretboard. Now, I've not featured apple before, so let's dive off and have a quick look at the woods. Now then, apple. It's not threatened. It's sustainable, which is really good. It has a colour, reddish, light reddish or greyish brown to a deeper red brown. That looks really nice. On the woods database, they say it's quite difficult to work due to its high density, and it can burn easily when being machined, but I understand it glues and varnishes really nicely. And in terms of toxicity, well, there's no other risks other than the standard health risks with wood dust. So it looks like quite an interesting wood. Okay, back to the guitar. See again, the old Shinto saw rasp is being used on the back of the neck there. It's an amazing tool for carving the backs of necks. Amazing. On the headstock, Emanuel added flamed ash veneer from the leftovers of the body top. That's a rather unusual headstock there, isn't it? And the tuners are 2 left, 4 right. They're unbranded locking tuners, and the nut is a locking nut as well. And this speaker is fitting a tremolo arm. Wow, that looks a really nice headstock. Okay, now on to the pickups. Ooh, looks rather neat, that does. Emanuel installed Seymour Duncan pickups, an SH5 custom bridge and an SH2N jazz neck humbucker. Wow. And there's a 3-way toggle switch, 1 master volume and 1 master tone, and both of those are push-pull potentiometers which enable him to split the humbuckers. Really nice idea. The pickup rings and the cover plate of the toggle switch are leftovers from the apple fretboard. It's a lovely wood, that apple, isn't it? I've never come across that. Gosh, that apple tree in the garden there is probably shaking its boots now. So here's the finished guitar. Emanuel dyed the back of the body in a chocolate brown. The rest is left natural with a true oil and wax finish. Whoa, that's a lovely looking guitar. I tell you what, Emanuel. I think Matthias Jabs might want that for his guitar store, you know. That is really neat. Beautiful. Emanuel installed a Floyd Rose tremolo system, and that looks really neat. I like that. Beautiful system there, which is why he needed to go for a slightly deeper body. Yeah, that's lovely. Ooh, I mean, it really is a slick looking guitar. I mean, considering this is the first guitar you made from scratch, you have done a fantastic job there. That's amazing. I love those pickup covers made out of wood. You know, much better than the plastic ones you get, aren't they? And the knobs there, well, the knobs, as I understand it, are made from the ash from the body, which has been stained chocolate brown by the looks of things, and the top of the knob is some leftovers from the top of the guitar there. And that's a really nice idea. Whoa. No, that is a beautiful looking guitar. Amazing shape, and I love the way you've carved it such that the top sort of blends into that brown at the back, and it really works, the combination of the two, and that apple fretboard really goes lovely with it. Well, Emanuel, I think Matthias Jabs would be very proud if he'd got a guitar like that, and I hope you are very proud of that guitar. That's excellent, and well, good luck with gigging with your band, because you're going to look awesome on stage. Anyway, thank you very much for sending us such a marvellous guitar. It's wonderful to see these things. Cheers. Well, since I started this guitar feature, I've been absolutely amazed at the variety of the styles, the quality of the guitars, and the absolute delight that it gives the folk that have built them. It's amazing building an instrument and then playing it. It's one of those fantastic things. Now, if you're building an instrument, or if you've built an instrument and you'd like me to feature it on this channel, please just contact me through my website, footstepsguitars.co.uk. There's a contact form there. Fill that in and I'll get back to you, and well, we can feature your guitar on this channel. And don't forget, if you want to see all the other guitars that I have featured, again, go to the website. There's a tab on there that says My Guitar Feature, and you can see a listing of all the guitars that I've featured with links to the videos. Anyway, this has cured overnight, so I'm going to unclip these two pieces and glue up the final piece. It always pays to do a little test clamp up just to see how the whole lot's going to hang together. I think I might be using this roll of vinyl again. See if that will work. Not quite such an easy clamp up, this one. Let's see. Will that do the trick? No, that's not going to work particularly well. So I need to pull that into there first. So let's have a look at doing that. That will do that job. Okay, if I can get that right. Now then, I need something to pull that in to there. I think this is a job for adding a piece of wood, or a couple of pieces of wood, to this frame that I've built to help me do this. So let's find some wood. Do you know what? I think that might do it. Okay, let's get the glue. Well, The top or the back, whichever I choose to use this for, is dry, and I've got a really nice join there. I'm just going to have to sand that down. Some lovely grain in that cherry, really is beautiful. So I'm going to do the next one now. And I've discovered that if I make a slight modification to this clamp, I can fit it in without cutting it. So all I've done is I've taken off some of this rubber. So I've got a strip of wood. It's actually got a bit of the rubber glue on it, but underneath, and the boards just slip into there. So, and actually that will give them a much firmer sort of clamping for these types of boards. Just got to get this back into there. This is. So that was a bit of a result. Let's get that knocked back into there. Clamps up there. So I've run these through the shooting board. I've got some two nice straight edges there. Really nice join. It's a really good technique, that is. So yeah, I'm going to glue that now. Let's get the glue on it. I tell you what, it's all happening here. Last night we were having our dinner in the garden, and a huge hot air balloon flew straight over the garden. We could see the people waving in it. Amazing. And just a bit earlier we've had the red arrows fly across with red, white and blue streaks behind them. It's the Queen's Jubilee weekend. 70 years, gosh. That's a long time. Well, that's another job done. Just let that cure. Okay, with that glued, I'm going to call it a day for this video. I know it's a bit shorter and it's a bit late, this video. I've been working on another really exciting project, and hopefully I'm going to be able to bring you a series of videos on that soon. That's setting up a small home music production studio. It's a lot of work, but it's really exciting. So I hope you'll stay with the channel. I'll give you some more information about that as soon as I know when I can start showing those videos. Anyway, thank you very much again for watching. I do have a request, a bit of advice. With this guitar, I was going to put 2 humbucker pickups on it, but I'm just wondering whether 2 pickups on a guitar like this is a bit overkill. So I'd be really grateful for your views. Do you think I should have 2 pickups or just 1 pickup? And if I have 1 pickup, is it at the neck or at the bridge? Decisions. There's going to be a beautiful piece of artwork on this guitar, so I don't want to hide that. The bridge and the tail stop are all going to be custom made. Yeah, your advice would be very well received. Anyway, I'll see you soon, and in the meantime, stay safe. Cheers.